Good afternoon everyone, and welcome to the vlog of Enthusiastic Dad. This afternoon Enthusiastic Dad is going to just talk you through why I'm thinking of getting rid of this bike, despite having only had it for 4 months. I'm a first time GS owner. Never really thought I'd buy one of these things, to be honest. But I'm not regretting doing so. It's fantastic, great bike to ride, great engine, it really rides well. Oh, here's the Scampton whatever they are people, so yeah, very good. And we're out for a little ride of the GS today, and I think that's probably the Links Advanced Motorcyclists that I'm a part of. There we go. And I'm just going to talk about why already I'm thinking about getting rid of this bike. I've ridden loads of miles on it already, and that's yeah, 22,687 it says there at the moment, and I've actually ridden from 19,800 I think, so got 2,800 miles in about 4 months. Tour of Wales with friends, and solo tour of Scotland, which was 1,500 miles in itself. So some big miles. And I've really enjoyed it. Engine's great, handling's great, the bike carries its weight very well indeed. Suspension's very good too. Not so enamoured by the gearbox, low down, but that came as no surprise really when I bought it. They have a reputation for a bit of a clunky gearbox in first and second, and that's definitely the case. No quick shift on this one, but apparently I'm not missing anything, so not a big deal there. Here's the problem. The problem is that Enthusiastic Dad is 5'6" tall. My inside leg is about 28.5 inches on a good day really. I'm a shorty, and this GS is a big bike. One of the things that attracted me to this particular bike when I bought it was that it had the low seat option. So I went and had a look at it, and very quickly actually realised that the low seat option would be okay with a pair of boots on. Not a major problem, couldn't put my both feet down flat, but I certainly get one down solidly, and a bike, because it carries its weight really low down, felt absolutely fine for that. So I bought it, off our way, went away to ride it. It's after you do something like that you kind of realise it's not that comfortable really. A few awkward moments here and there in the first week of ownership. Put all the bags on it, and then thought about putting my wife on the back and decided against that because I'd be too unstable. I actually got some of those eccentric front seat lowering rubbers off Fleabay, and lost about another 10 mil apparently. It doesn't really feel like it, but it's still just a little bit high for me. And you know where I found out about that from? It was my tour of Scotland. Anyone that's had a look at my tour of Scotland vlog, which turned out to be more of a movie than a vlog because my microphone setup wasn't very good, and my camera setup wasn't very good, and it rained a lot. So it turned out to be just a pretty boring old movie made on iMovie. But there are very few stills and pictures of the bike parked up where I could have parked it up. And the reason is, and anyone that's short will understand this, when you come to a parking space that you think, is that going to be awkward? You tend to ride past it. It's on a camber, it's got gravel all over it, it's on a massive hill, it's going to be awkward. I'll just ride past that. I can't be bothered. I don't want to drop the bike, especially in the middle of nowhere. I'm not even sure I can pick it up on my own. So no, I'm going to avoid that one, thanks. Give that one a miss, and I'll carry on to the next stop. And that did ensure that I rode for hundreds of miles without stopping sometimes, because I just couldn't be bothered. It was too difficult, too much of a risk. and that's with the boxes on fairly well loaded, no pillion. The bike is just a few millimeters, maybe 20-30 millimeters too high for me. So I've been looking at the new GS 1300, and that has some clever electronic seat lowering capability, which means the whole bike lowers itself when it comes to a standstill for you, and means they won't be doing a lowered suspension version. Seat height reduced, I think. Username Kate calls it. So no seat height reduction, and unfortunately a bike that is very expensive. Now I have spotted they started to sell off the 1250s. A bit of flooding here from the weather we've had in the last week or two. That's a new duck pond for someone for a while, and I've seen a lowered 1250. Now it has got a normal seat, but of course I've got a reduced height seat here, and I can swap it over quite happily. So with my reduced height seat on 1250, that might, I haven't actually confirmed this yet, that might improve things quite a lot. Now, if it did, I'd have to pay for the privilege, of course, because the current bike I'm riding is a 2014, and the one I'm looking at will be a 2023. A lot more gizzards. Digital dash, I have to say, would be nice, because the digits on here are pretty poor. They're okay at this sort of speed, but there's a lot going on speedo. I tend to use the one here on the Nav 6, which gives me digital speed or GPS speed, and it's far easier to spot, and with the limit next to it too, which is quite useful. So the digital dash is all singing, all dancing by comparison. So, you know, the Chair 2 will be a big improvement. We'll see what we get. You know, I've no idea how that will be an improvement or not. Anyway, I'll catch you again in a few minutes' time. Bye for now. So, welcome back everyone. We're heading down the 631 to Gainsborough now. It's a nice road, a few nice twisties on it. A great rush really. My favourite road's been closed off for a while down here, which is a shame. Full light came on whilst you're off air. 50 miles to go. I should be able to get to Gainsborough at least. Some gas in. There's traffic ahead, a bit of space. Bringing the move further, taking everything. So here's the problem. I want a bike that I can put my feet down, and I like the GS, so it's a choice of the GS 1250 or 1300. 1300 is going to cost me a lot of money, not even sat or ridden on it yet. 1250 is a bit of a known quantity. The other good thing about the 1250s, of course, when I trade this thing in, it's fine, but when I trade this in, it does mean that pretty much everything I put on it, I can take off and put my new bike on. So I've got the Wunderlich bar risers on here, and these are fantastic, because corresponding to being short of the leg, I'm short of the arm. So bring the bars back up a little bit, it's made the bike so much nicer to ride. I've got this nice MRA screen that really keeps the wind off as well, which is fantastic. And several other bits and pieces. The one thing I won't need, I suppose, is the USB port from the Normans, because there's already one of those on the H150s. It also means I won't have to buy things like the extra brake light. For some reason my intercom's just come on, and my radio's just come on. Hey Cardo, radio off. So it also means I won't have to buy some things like extra brake lights, that sort of thing. Because as much as I like the brake lights on this thing, they don't stand out as well as a separate brake light. And on the new 1250 and 1300 they're much better. But it's not worth, well, I've done the sums, and it's several thousand to upgrade to a 1250. And several more thousand to a 1300. And to be quite frank with you, apart from being a bit of a reach to the ground, this bike's great. No issues. It's just a little bit high when I'm at a standstill on the camber and that sort of thing. And you know, you can get over that. Bit of bump shuffling and a little bit of adventure parking, and you're good. So, in the comments below, tell me what you think. What would you do? Would you go for the perfect bike now that they're on good offer, knowing that you can transfer all your bits and pieces across to it and also be much more confident with the footing? Would you persevere with this one a bit longer and then get a 1300 when they've been out for a little longer as well, which also means of course that any little niggles hopefully have been solved by then in a year's time, say? Or would you just continue with this, the hell with it? Or would you spend a little bit of money about getting this one lowered? I know it can be done aftermarket for about £1,000, which is still cheaper than the cost to trade and buy a 1250. So, let me know your thoughts. Thanks very much for watching.